Hello ladies, it's time again for another ladies chat. I was thinking today of one of my favorite scriptures, and that's Romans 8:28, that says, "All things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose." That verse has gotten me through a lot of things throughout my life, and I'm sure many of you have read it over again during these days. Our devotion today is based on that verse, and it's called "Make Friends with the Problems in Your Life." Though many things feel random and wrong, remember that I am sovereign over everything. I can fit everything into a pattern for good, but only to the extent that you trust me. Every problem can teach you something, transforming you little by little into the masterpiece I created you to be. The very same problem can become a stumbling block over which you fall if you react with distrust and defiance. The choice is up to you, and you will have to choose many times each day whether to trust me or deny me. The best way to befriend your problems is to thank me for them. This simple act opens your mind to the possibility of benefits flowing from your difficulties. You can even give persistent problems nicknames, helping you to approach them with familiarity rather than the dread. The next step is to introduce them to me, enabling me to embrace them in my loving presence. I will not necessarily remove your problems, but my wisdom is sufficient to bring good out of every one of them. Here's a verse, the Romans 8:28 from the Amplified Version. It's a little different than what we normally read. It says, "We are assured and know that God, being a partner in their labor, all things work together and are fitting into a plan for good to and for those who love God and are called according to his design and purpose." In 1 Corinthians 1:23 through 24 it says, "But we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to the Jews and foolishness to the Gentiles. But to those whom God has called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God." As we continue on in this social distancing and the coronavirus epidemic, I know that it's kind of fearful when they tell you you have to wear a mask outside and all these things, and I know that some of you are rather anxious, but I know that if we just put our problems in God's hands and let him work through them, he didn't give them to us, but he can work through those things and see us through all the difficult times. Let's say a prayer. Dear Lord, thank you today for your many blessings, and thank you for each of our ladies at Northside, and I pray that you would just pour out your presence upon each of them and keep them in your care. Surround us with your presence and just see us through these difficult moments that we find ourselves in. I pray that you would be with all of our prayer needs. I pray for Amanda and Miss Judy, who are both trying to battle through the cancers, and Miss Billy and Miss Shirley, who have got ongoing health issues, and Carissa. I pray that you would be with each of them and just strengthen them through this time. Be with Claudia and her back issues. Be with Louise and her recovery as she recovers from the stroke and gets back to a normal routine. And pray that you would just be with each of us, Father. There's other needs that may be unspoken, and I just pray that you would pour out your healing power upon those needs and those situations. Comfort us during these days. Give us encouragement and help us to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel and that you are always there for us. Be with us throughout this day and through the coming week, and we ask these things in thy precious holy name. Amen.